Hey, Jack here with another episode of Components of Playing. And this week we'll be talking about rhythm counting systems and good time. Now, when we talk about time, what we're really talking about is the ability to communicate a steady pulse and furthermore, the ability to subdivide within that steady pulse. And that's what we're doing today in our interactive music activity using a counting system. When faced with a new piece of music, for instance one that you're supposed to sight read, it might be a good idea to just forget about the pitches at first and read the rhythm. And that's where counting systems really come in handy. Today, we'll be using a specific rhythm counting system that many affectionately refer to as Takadimi. So for instance, in the time signature of 4/4, in which a quarter note gets a full beat, that means a quarter note gets a large pulse or a macro beat. So if this is our macro beat, we can begin by putting a ta on each one of these claps. Ta, 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 ta. From there, we begin to subdivide the macro beat. The next subdivision is the eighth note in common time. The eighth note subdivision of the macro beat will be D. I'll demonstrate. It'll sound like this. Ta, D, ta, D, ta, D, ta, D. If we were to subdivide even further, we would get 16th notes. We're going to call the 16th notes Ka and Mi. So when we add those into what we already have, it'll sound like this. Takadimi, 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 ta. Now that's how takadimi works in a duple meter like 4/4 common time or 2/4 cut time. In a triple meter like 6/8, each macro beat gets 3 subdivisions. Still, the macro beat is ta. So in a triple meter, if we're counting just the macro beats, it'll still just be a ta. If we want to subdivide further, the eighth notes will be ki and da. To demonstrate, taki-da, 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 taki-da. If you want to subdivide further in a triple meter, naturally, we'll find syllables which fit in between the ones we already have. Those will sound like this. Tavakidi-dama, 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 tavakidi-dama. Before we move on to our rhythm exercises for today, I want to give a shout out to the style of music which inspired Takadimi from South India called Carnatic music. I'll put some links in the description of cool Carnatic music so you can see where we're coming from here. And now, on to our exercises. The way this is going to work is I'm going to put up a rhythm up here, and I'll clap a pulse, and I'll count you in, and then it's your turn to count the rhythm using Takadimi. You go the first time, and then the second time I'll join in so you can check and make sure you're doing it correctly. Here's level 1, rhythm 1. Are you ready? I'll clap 2 bars, and then you're in. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, begin. Now, along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Ta, ta-di, ta, ta-di, 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 ta, ta-di. Good. Now here's level 1, rhythm 2. I'll give you 1 bar as a count in for now. 1, 2, 3, and go. Now with me. 1, 2, 3, and go. Ta-di, ta, ta-di, ta, di, ta, ta, ta. Good job. Now we're in level 2. As a hint, you can always pause the video to scan the rhythm before you read it. Here's level 2, rhythm 1. I'll give you 3 beats to count in this time, so be ready. 1, 2, and go. Now along with me. 1, 2, and go. Ta di, di mi ta di, 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 taka di. Now here's level 2, rhythm 2. This time, 4 beats out front. 1, 2, 3, and go. And now with me. 1, 2, 3, and go. Di, taka di, ta di mi ta di. And now we're on to some tricky ones in level 3. Here's our first rhythm. First U with 4 bars out front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with me. 1, 2, 3, and go. Ta, mi ta, di mi ta, di, ta, di mi ta, di, ta, di mi ta, di, ta, di. Now here's our final rhythm for today's exercise. Looks a little different, huh? That's because this isn't a triple meter. Remember, we use taki-da in a triple meter. I'll give you 2 bars or 4 beats as an intro for this one. Here we go. Again, with me. 1, 2, here we go. Ta, da, taki, da, ta, da, taki, da, taki, da, ta, da, ta. Nice work today reading rhythms, and I'll see you on the next episode of Components of Playing with Jack Wiley. Bye.